Well, it's the wrong kind of sorry. That was the blistering assessment of a federal court judge as he hit Qantas with the biggest ever industrial relations penalty. The Flying Kangaroo slapped with a $90 million fine for illegally sacking 1,800 staff during the pandemic. For those who lost their jobs that day, it's been a long, bitter battle. But today, vindication. Don Dixon was illegally sacked by Qantas and joins me alongside Transport Workers Union Secretary Michael Caine and brand expert Dee Madigan. Hey Don, I want to talk to you first because you were a proud Qantas worker for 20 years before you got the sack. What did you make of today's fine and decision?
I thought that Justice Lee gave us a voice, and today he made us feel so important and really, not just to Qantas workers today, but everyone who works around the country, it's their win too.
Just remind us how you found out that you were getting the sack 5 years ago.
Yeah, we were called into the lunchroom and the management announced it over the loudspeaker, and it was just one of the most horrible things that you could ever imagine. Yeah. But, you know, but that suited Joyce Razum. You know, that's just how we played it.
I mean, it's a strange moment, isn't it? There's vindication, but it has been a really tough, stressful 5 years for you, your family, and all your other workers who were sacked.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, the impact it had, no amount of money can fix that. And it was a roller coaster for some people. You know, mortgages, homes, relationships. It affected everyone. Mm. And we didn't know whether we were going to win or lose this case, but we were never going to give in, you know. But it did have an impact, and we'll look back at this in years to come and say the fight was worth it. Yeah. Are you proud of yourself? Yes, yes. Hey, Michael, you know what? There was no guarantee of a win today, and in fact, a lot of people didn't think you were going to be able to do this.
That's absolutely right. When we started this 5 years ago, people said we were crazy. They said we were at best an outside chance, snowball's chance in hell, all of those words. But, you know, we didn't have a choice. Don's group, so brave, he's just told you about those effects. I mean, wow. Their lives have been affected, some of them forever. They won't be able to get back to normal. And, you know, this is a real wake-up call today. Justice Lee setting it out, overturning every stone and making sure that everyone knows just how Qantas acted here, reprehensibly and illegally, and pinging them for the largest penalty in Australia's history. Everyone likes the idea of the spirit of Australia. These guys built the spirit of Australia. But this 5 years has showed us a very different Qantas, a spiteful Qantas, a brutal corporate dictatorship led by Alan Joyce. There's a long way to go to rebuild it. $50 million will go directly to the union. What will you do with that money? Well, the union does what it always does. It supports workers. We take on cases like this to make sure that workers have a voice. Sure, this money will help, but for us, it's business as usual, supporting workers and supporting the 60,000 who supported these 1,800. Yeah. It's a big pot of money if anyone decides to try this again, right? Well, it is a warning, and Justice Lee made that very clear today. He expressly said part of the reason the union should have this money is as a warning to employers to do the right thing. This is really important. This can never, ever happen again to any other Australian worker. Don, no one from Qantas wanted to front our cameras today, but in a statement did say the airline sincerely apologises to those sacked. Do you accept that apology?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think that today they learnt a very harsh lesson that, you know, words aren't as important as actions. This could be the beginning of building the new Qantas, you know, post-Alan Joyce era, you know. Let's hope so, because everyone loves Qantas as the Australian company. So let's get it back to where it should be. Yeah, so you can now put a stamp on this and move on with your life finally? Well, as soon as she pays, yeah. Let's not get too hasty. Oh, well done. Look, well done with sticking with it and with the result you got today.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you, Ali.
OK, let's bring in brand expert Dee Madigan. Dee, how do you think Qantas handled the legal process?
I don't think Qantas could have handled this worse if they tried. Like, for all their talk of we've changed, they've spent, like, the past couple of years fighting against giving these workers compensation. The people who are involved in the decisions didn't show up to court. They sent people there who weren't even there at the time. And the judge has rightly condemned them for that. And that's part of the reason they've got such a big fine.
Who in the end do you think pays the penalty? I mean, is it us the next time we book a flight with Qantas?
It would be great if, you know, retrospectively, all the key principals at Qantas got some of their executive bonuses removed from them. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. They hopefully won't pass it on to customers. They probably will because they can. And I hope our, like, wine bottles on a Friday afternoon don't get any smaller because at the moment they're almost, you know, you can barely taste them. They hopefully won't pass it on to customers. They probably will because they can. Because at the moment, they've almost got a monopoly.
Like, for many, many years, Qantas has been such a strong brand. How much damage has this really done?
Australians loved Qantas. So that means you can behave like a corporate bastard for quite a long time and people will keep forgiving you. But that is the strength of a brand. It gives you buffer in a crisis. But people will only put up with that for so long before they will start looking elsewhere. But at the moment, there's not many other airlines to go with.
And Qantas says that its #1 priority now is building back the trust it's lost with customers. So could this actually benefit customers now?
This should benefit customers. I'm not sure it will because they did say that in 2023 when Vanessa came in, she said it was all going to change and the culture was going to change, and then for 2 years they've been fighting against giving workers compensation. That suggests to me the damage internally, there is still brand damage there, and I don't know that it's been fixed.
OK, well, the airline's full statement is on our website. Dee, thank you so much.
My pleasure.